Hi. So I wanted to do a video. It was like the things in K-pop that pissed me off. This is probably going to be part one because no more stuff happens that can get on my nerves. So there might be a part two in the future. You never know. But these are just some things that I thought of right at the top of my head a couple days ago, and we're just going to go into it. And if you are someone that is easily offended, can't handle when their faves might get a little shade thrown at them, or if you don't like the examples because it pertains to a group that you stan, then you better get off the video because no holds barred, bitch. That's how we do it over here. Okay? So, yeah. So if you don't like me saying something about your favorite, move along, move along, move along, exit left, go that way, goodbye. To the left, to the left. Anyways, we're gonna start with topic number one. Did y'all disappear? There's so many groups in K-pop that to make it big, like a big level group like a BTS or EXO, you really gotta be that. Putting in that work and getting your name out there and being recognized and having people love your music. Not everyone can be as successful as EXO, Twice, Girls' Generation, Big Bang, If 100 groups debuted in one year, 20 might make it just above and beyond. So, for instance, you have a group and they have a comeback and they aren't really that popular of a group. For example, Newest. They're kind of popping right now though, so don't even get it twisted with them. They released some music like Sleep Talking. Cool. Their popularity from Face had declined steadily, and so example, they released Sleep Talking. That didn't do great at all. So what did the company do? They said, oh well, you're not really making money for us, so we're gonna stop with that for a little bit. We didn't hear from Newest again until like almost halfway through 2015. Okay, so it's like the company doesn't want to invest more money on you because they don't think that they can make a good enough return profit. So you kind of just disappear for other groups to make their shine. Another example, Secret. They had a comeback in 2014. It did like not that great. So they haven't done nothing else since. And that has given time for members to leave and all that. So did y'all disappear? Is y'all ghosting? What it is. The next one is the marketability marketability of that one member that stands out from the rest because the company made it that way. So, for example, you have the classic ones like Miss A. Everybody knows JYP favors SUZY. Like, he will probably die for SUZY before she has to die for herself. And the other three members get pushed all the way to the back. You don't hear none of them really having any solo opportunities or anything like that. Another example, HYUNA featuring 4 Minute. Like, HYUNA had solos pretty much off the wham, and it took how many years after their debut for them to get a freaking subunit of Jiyoon and Gayoon? Too long. And it wasn't even that great in my opinion. I didn't like it, okay? But the song Nightmare, that one was lit. Yeah. So like you have that one member that shines above the rest, immense popularity, and the company only cares to really promote that person's name, and the others basically you might see them on a variety show here or there once or twice, but they don't really do nothing. They just there for the comeback, and then when they do the like break period, you don't hear from them except maybe if you follow on social media and they post stuff about their daily life. Like I love Astro and I love Unwoo, but it seems like he's the only one that gets any type of recognition outside of Astro. So, what's the deal? There's 6 members of Astro, and you need to get it together. Another prime example of this would be Cheon from Dia. If you ask like any non-hardcore Dia stan, like, oh my gosh, do you know about Dia? And they'll be probably like, oh yeah, I know about Chaeyoung because she was in IOI and she does all the acting and stuff. Yeah, she does, but what about the other members? There's 9 members. 2 of them went on the unit because they kind of like edited that they wanted to be like, Chaeyoung is popular, but we're here too. So like, MBK, do better. Do better. The next one, let them date. If they want to kiss up on them, if they want to snuggle them, if they want to hold them in their bed at night and keep them warm and tight, let them do it. You, as a fan, especially if you don't live in Korea, and even then, if you do live in Korea, your chances are like very slim. Probably won't meet your favorite. Like, yeah, Oppa probably ain't even gonna know you exist, girl. Or your Hyung, or your Nuna, whatever. They're probably not gonna know you exist. And if you do, you're really lucky. Like, you're really lucky if they know you exist. But they're humans, just like us, even though they are celebrities. And they deserve to be happy. Like, if you love your fave so much, you should be supporting their happiness. So if they just so happen to want to date someone and they're really happy because they really like them, you should be supporting. Are you only going to be happy when they stay single for the rest of their life? That's not a real fan. Like, no, you don't deserve to call yourself a fan if you're going to be like, oh, they can't date nobody because they're dating us. They're dating the fans. They can't date them. I'm not going to like him if he dates that girl. He can't date that bitch. She can't date that dude. Like, but you're a quote unquote fan and you love them and you would support them, but as soon as they show interest in someone that ain't yourself, you have a problem with it. That is so two-faced and you just look like a hypocrite. So, that's like so dumb. Like, what are you doing with your life? If you're supporting them, you should support them all the way. Unless they do something like really bad, then you kind of have to be like, I don't support you on that one. So, like, let them date. If they want to date, let them do it. If they want to fuck, let them do it. You probably not going to be the one that they fuck. They probably not even going to look your way. So, let them do what they want to do. Their personal life is their personal life, and they're entitled to that privacy. The next topic, stan, hardcore stan, ride or die stan, take several seats. Sit it down now. Just because you're a ride or die hardcore fan for your favorite group, like you've been like knowing everything about them, blah blah blah, doesn't mean everyone else does as well. Just because they're your favorite doesn't mean that we all have to like the same group. Like, there's plenty of people that don't like BTS, and there's plenty of people that would stan the fuck out of BTS. Like, they love BTS. They ride or die for those boys. And these stans, like the real hardcore ones that are so narrow-minded, I'm not saying all, because some people think, that's not all. Bitch, I know it's not all. It's not all the stans, but the ones that are just so blinded by that one fave that they can't hear other people's opinions, that's the ones I have an issue with. Not everyone is going to like the same thing. Not everyone is going to like the same concepts, the same style of music, whatever. Just because they didn't like what your favorite did doesn't give you the right to bash them because of their opinion. If they stated their opinion in like a nice manner and they wasn't like, ooh, this group is fucking trash, I hate them, ew, BTS, fuck that shit, that's rude. That's rude on their part. They is voicing their opinion, but that was rude. They could have easily been like, oh, this one's really not for me. But even though some people be like, oh, this one's really not for me, and then other people in the comments that like ride for their faves is like, well, fuck you, bitch. Get out of here. What are you doing in this video? Stop throwing hate. Bye, bye, bye. This, that, and the third. Like, shut the fuck up. If they voice their opinion in a nice way, you can voice your opinion in a nice way back. Your fave ain't gonna be sad or crushed that one person isn't feeling the comeback or the music or the whatever. They don't care because they have a million other fans that support them. So one person saying, oh, this really wasn't for me is not going to make them devastated. At least I hope not. Next, we're going on to broke as shit. Well, too bad, because your company is going to release 12 bajillion copies of that one album. EXO's Exodus was 10 versions of the Korean album, 10 of the Chinese album, equaling 20 albums total, and people bought all 20 versions of that album? Where your coins at? Because I really need some too. Lots of companies these days like doing multiple versions, it seems like. SOS, please someone help me. It's not healthy. Back in the day, not really. Nowadays, everyone seems to be doing multiple versions. At least two. It seems like if your album has two versions, that's the norm. And I'm all here for that. Like, for my faves, I'll buy all the versions. Duh. You've seen me with all my 17. I buy every single version because I'm crazy. But what you not gonna do? Like JYP, there was 3 versions of Signal, 2 versions of the photo book, and then one had like a different cover, but then it either got the first, like got one of the two, so you didn't know. It was like random. And people didn't know that at first. They thought it was 3 different photo books because there was 3 different versions of the album. And then they got like duplicate of the one photo book, and they were like, what the fuck? Same thing goes for BAP's Noir album. Like the covers, from what I heard, was different because it was like member covers, but then the inside it was like the same photos. Like if you're gonna do member versions or different versions, you have to make sure that what's inside is different. Of course the songs are gonna be the same, unless you're Dia and you liked that Love Generation thing, which I love that song. I love the song on that, but you know, that was kind of weird. No one got time to be buying 5 versions of the album just to get all the songs. Come on now. So the songs are going to be the same, but if you're going to have different versions, like I said, make sure at least the photos are different, the photo cards, something. Don't make it like, oh my gosh, just the cover is different, or really? Like, that's kind of annoying. That's why, for a good example, 17, they have like multiple versions, and they just all different. Yes. You know, what else? To all the SASAENGS, you're not a fan, you never in hell should be considered one, because what you do is definitely not what a fan should do. So I quit, yeah, just keep it on the down low, since nobody else. If you sneaking into their private life, devoting your whole soul and entire existence, the reason you breathe and wake up in the morning for them, you really need to get some help. Stalking your fave is not going to make them fall in love with you. It's going to make them turn off, and they're going to be like, ew, that's really scary. How would you feel if you was walking down the street and you had like 20 people following after you, like, ooh, 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 like, come on now, that's not cute. Hitting your favorite, punching him, pulling his hair, whatever, ripping clothes, that's not cute either. DBSK is like the prime example of like when the SASAENGS fans was like really crazy. Same with EXO. Y'all was giving no chill. Y'all was sneaking into their rooms, taking pictures of them while they sleep. Y'all was like shaving your heads to sneak into the boys' bathroom. Don't do it. That's gross. That's grimy. That's not what a fan does. That's never what a fan does. You should not do that. Fan etiquette 101. Don't be doing something freaky that could get your ass arrested, bitch. Also, like the 2 p.m. Taecyeon, he got that letter written of like period blood and pubic hairs. The fuck is he supposed to do with that? I'm sure he saw that letter, took one look, and was like, and threw it in the trash, bitch. You are disgusting. That's some disgusting shit. And that bitch that sold Dio's underwear or whatever. What the fuck? What the fuck? And the SASAENGS fans that crashed Baekhyun's brother's wedding. Like, that's not what a fan does. A fan supports their faves at the music and the showcases and the fan signings event, not in something that pertains to their private life. That's not what fans do. Okay, so you SASAENGS fans that do all that extra shit and like be causing so much trouble. Disgusting. Cancelled. Move along, move along, move along. The next topic of conversation. KBS, the pussy company of Korea, or what? Because they be censoring everything. They find the most littlest thing to be upset about. Like, Akmu had a song called Galaxy, and they're like, no, that song is banned because it mentions the word galaxy, and people might think it's the phone. What? What? Like, the reasons are so dumb. They banned that one Jonghyun song off of his new album because it had some Japanese in it. Really, bitch? Real? So they be banning stuff for like no reason. And they be like letting all the double standard shit, like, oh, your outfits is too racy if you a girl, but you know, you show your jacket's open and you're showing all that skin and the nipples for the man, but you know, get off that stage, man. Fuck that shit up, kill it, crotch thrust, hump the air, job break, all that. But no, you girl, you popping your ass in some yoga pants, you gotta change it. Change it, because we're not having it. Double standards. KBS is just full of shit when it comes to all this censorship thing. Like, if you want to go on a music show and not have to worry about the censorship, head your ass over to M Countdown, because you know they don't censor shit. All my hood unnies, all my bad unnies. Yeah. Like, if the people at KBS delved into the message of some of the songs, they would realize that they don't need to be censored. Like, come on now. Next topic. We're almost done. The ignorant new fans. And I've noticed this a lot with some of like the new BTS fans. There's other groups that do it as well. Twice fans. And right, let me say this again in case you're like, bitch, it's not all. I fucking know that it's not all the fans. Okay? Duh. So don't be coming here saying, it ain't all of us. How could you just pile us all up into that one category, bitch? I never did. Okay? I swear. The new ones that be like, what? They don't know how to listen. They really don't know how to listen. And they can't take the criticism. They can't take the heat. So y'all need to get out the kitchen, because there's gonna be plenty of heat in the future, bitch. But they be like hardcore for their faves. Like Blackpink, Twice, BTS, EXO, whatever. Like, y'all group debuted like 2 seconds ago and isn't the first ones to do it.
OMG. You done lost your motherfucking mind.
There have been plenty of groups spanning way back to the 90s and earlier that have paved the way for today's groups, like HOT, DBSK, Shinhwa, Jax Kids, Spinkle, SES. Like, they have been there and they made it so that groups today, like a BTS or a Blackpink or a Twice, is thriving today. They influenced and they inspired. Your faves probably look up to some of the groups and like, they inspired me to do what I'm doing now. Just like Western music, they always are inspired by Western music, and it shows in the songs. Tropical EDM, dubstep, trap beats, you know, like, it's always like a influence and all that. An example, like BTS, some of the fans that just are so narrow-minded and think that BTS was the first, they were the innovators. Like, oh my gosh, why did that girl have a hot air balloon in her video? Why is she copying BTS? What? Where did that even make sense? Oh my gosh, they have tropical EDM in their song. They're copying BTS. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, they wearing street clothing. Why they copying BTS? Ooh, like, your group, whether it be BTS, whether it be Twice, whether it be EXO, 17, blah, 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 Monster X, who, whatever group, their concept, they probably didn't do it first. Like BTS, they was not the first group to have a hip-hop sound. That spans way back, boo. Like, So Taiji and the Boys way back. So don't be saying that they were the first ones to have a hip-hop concept, because that's a bunch of bullshit. They weren't the first ones to wear street clothing, you know, like that hip clothing, like the hip-hop brands and stuff. And they was definitely not the first to have no complex-ass storylines. There have been plenty of groups in the past that have had crazy-ass storylines in their videos before BTS was even heard of. So, like, that's just what it is. No shade, though, because I love me some BTS, and I'm really wanting, like, to come back really soon. But that was just an example, because I have seen, like, some people in comments that are BTS fans thinking that everything that BTS did was so original, so innovative, and the first to do it, when it wasn't. Same with, like, Twice. Like, oh my gosh, Girls' Generation, who? No, don't even try it, bitch, because you will get drags. Fulfilled. Or, like, a Blackpink, when they're, like, the best ones to ever do that badass girl crush concept. They're seniors on the group. 21 did it first, though, before a Blackpink, so I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, that like don't be ignorant. If you get into K-pop, like K-pop, get into it. It's amazing. But if you're gonna be that ignorant, no clue, talking shit, reckless new fan, get it together. You need to have a history class on K-pop because you be showing your ass and you look like a fool. You look stupid. And the last thing in K-pop that pisses me off at the moment for part one is the fan fucking wars. Since the dawn of time, there have been fan wars. Like HOT versus Jexicus, DBSK versus Double S501, Girls' Generation versus 21, EXO versus BIP, BTS versus EXO, BTS versus everybody, EXO versus everybody. You name it, your group probably been in a fan war. Blackpink versus Twice, Twice versus Girls' Generation, whatever. They is fan wars all the time because people don't understand that we all have different opinions and we're not all gonna agree. Just because I don't listen to your group and I don't like the music doesn't mean that I'm gonna be like, no. You have, like, and majority of it is stupid. It's caused by the fans. Unless, like, I mean, you know, Bobby, he did like that diss song to Ravi, you know? He said some subliminals and some shit. And you know, like, okay, there we go. That's an example of like the idol starting the shit. But most of the time it's the fans. Like the EXO and BTS. You've seen the interactions. You've seen them friendly and smiling on stage, backstage, in pictures, whatever. You see them chilling.
Your best friend, that's my best friend, that's my best friend, that's my best friend, that's my best friend. You better fuck it up. Best friend wants you.
So why are you still pitting those two groups against each other? Like, your faves are friends in real life, so why couldn't you? Like, that's, like, what? Come on. Because it's not like you see BTS and EXO on stage all kikiing and hugging and all that good stuff coexisting and whatever, and then backstage you're like, fuck that bitch. Fuck you, Jimmy. No, fuck you, Suho. I'm like, no, probably not. But y'all fans put the groups against each other. You like to pit them against each other. I swear, like, if it's too common K-pop, something gets started because people is bored and people is just looking for a reason to bitch. That's just what it is. And it's annoying. Fan fucking wars. Annoying. Avoid them at all costs. Because they too draining for your life. Anyways, that is it for things that piss me off in K-pop. Part 1. There will probably be a part 2 in the future. Don't know when though. But these are just some of the things that like really annoy me. I've been a fan of K-pop hardcore since 2011, but I knew about it since 2008. So I guess you could say that I like know a thing or two, like, but not really though. But it is what it is. This is just my opinion, and you know. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. Like, let's discuss what annoys you, what pisses you off, what really like irks your nerves. Let's discuss and just talk about it. And you know, because I know like some people are probably gonna dislike the video anyway because they're like not emotionally stable enough to like handle and comprehend something like this. But you know, it is what it is. Thanks for the view, boo. And I'll see you all on the next video. Bye!